let's transform this raw file from looking like this into looking like this. The first thing we have to do is to balance the exposure of the raw file, and I'm going to be using Capture One to do that. And to my Lightroom users, I love you, but technically you can actually do the same thing I'm doing inside of Capture One in Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw. So to balance this image, I'll first of all come to my adjustment layer inside of Capture One, and I'll come to my exposure right here, and I'll just bring my exposure up a little bit like this. Now if I zoom, you can see the highlights on the dress is not looking too much, so I'll just come to my high dynamic range and just bring down the highlights a little bit like this to bring back some details in the whites. And also I'm just going to open up my shadow a little bit to brighten up the shadow area just like that. But right now I feel it's too much, so I'm going to take it down a little bit like this. Alright, now let's see our before and after. So these are before and these are after. Our before and after. Now next I'm going to do, I'm just going to open this image in Photoshop. So I'm going to right click on the image and just click on edit with and click on Photoshop. And from here you can choose to use 16 bits or 8 bits depending on the bits you want to use for your image, but I prefer to use 16 bits. So I'm going to click on 16 bits and just make sure your option is on uncompressed, your ICC profile is on RGB, and just leave the rest on default and just click on edit variant, and this image is just going to open inside of Photoshop. Now that I'm in Photoshop, I have this plugin right here called Retouch for me. Now this plugin is just going to help me retouch my image in just one click. So I'm going to press Ctrl J and just click on my action right here and just click on the Retouch for me. I'm just going to play this Retouch for me action right here. So I'm going to click on Retouch for me on my action right here, and in less than 1 minute I'm going to get a well retouched image by using this plugin. And if you want to get this plugin, I'll be leaving the link where you can purchase this plugin, and if you use that link, you are going to get 20% off of any purchase you make using the link in the description below. So if you're a photographer or you're a retoucher and you're making money off your photography business and you want to save a lot of time while editing and at the same time get an amazing result, I highly recommend you get this plugin. Okay, back to our image. Now you can see the Retouch for me has removed the blemishes for this image. So let me just show you the before and after so you can see. So this is the before and this is the after. Wow, the before and the after. So what this does is that it just removes the blemishes for me. So the before and the after. And it also do the micro dodge and burn for me. So before micro dodge and burn, after micro dodge and burn. So right now I feel the micro dodge and burn is too much, so I'm just going to reduce the opacity of the micro dodge and burn a little bit like this. Okay, it also did a global dodge and burn. This is the before and this is the after. This eye vessel right here is just to remove the veins, the eye vessel. So the before and the after. All right, so that's for the retouch for me. And basically you can do all this from scratch in Photoshop. It's just going to take you a lot of time. So if you don't already know how to remove your blemishes or do your micro dodge and burn, you can check out this video right here. So next thing I'm going to do after I remove my blemishes and do my micro dodge and burn, I'm going to run my focus separation just to smooth the skin even more. So I'll come to my action right here and I'll click on focus separation 16 bits. If your image is 8 bits, click on focus separation 8 bits, just like that. And for the Gaussian blur radius, I'm just going to leave it at 6.4. Basically, if you want to rotate texture your image, use a high number. If you want less texture your image, if you want your image to be smooth, use a lower blur radius. So for this type of image, I'm just going to leave it at 6.4 and click on OK. Now after that, I'm just going to pick my mixer brush tool right here and make sure you are using a soft round brush. Make sure this clean brush after each stroke is selected. My weight is on 30, my load is on 20, my mix is on 90, mix doesn't really matter, and my flow is on 30, and sample all layer is selected. So if you're using this my action, make sure sample all layer is selected because we are working on an empty layer. Alright, so I'm just going to zoom in and just turn off this high texture layer right here. So once I turn it off, it's just going to show me only the color. So I'm just going to brush on my image right now. So make sure you brush your highlight separately, your shadow separately, and your middle separately. So I'm going to brush this highlight right here separately. And also make sure you are increasing and decreasing your brush size according to the place you are working on. And you can use the square bracket key on your keyboard to increase and decrease your brush size like that. So I'm just going to paint on this image just to smoothen it out a little bit more. Just like this. Okay, now let's see our before and after. So these are before and our after. Our before and our after. And at the same time, you can remove some blemishes that are still remaining in your image from this step right here. So once you got the focus separation, just pick your close stamp tool and just make sure your high texture copy layer, which is this first one right here, is selected, and just increase your brush size and just press alternate to sample. Once you press alternate, just click on any close by place to sample from your keyboard and just paint over the blemishes you want to remove, just to remove those blemishes, just like that. So alternate to sample and remove the blemishes just like that. Okay, now I'm done with that. Next I'm going to do, I want to remove those hair. I don't know if you can see those hair on the face. I just want to remove them because I really don't want them there. And I'm going to be using the remove tool. So I'm going to pick on the remove tool right here and create a stamp visible layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alternate E. Now with my remove tool selected, I'm just going to zoom in and just paint on the lines like this just to remove it. Okay, I'm just going to remove that hair right there, and I'll do the same thing for this one right here. I'm just going to draw over the hair like this to remove it. I'm just going to remove it, and you can do the same thing for the ones right here. So just pick your remove tool and just remove the hairs right there. Just take your time to do it. So with that tool, you can just remove the hair on the face of your subject. Okay, so next I'm going to do, I want to face this background right here. So I'm going to create a stamp visible layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alternate E. Now after that, I'm just going to come to my selection tool right here and just click on select subject. So after making my selection, I'm going to invert the selection by pressing Ctrl Shift I to invert the selection. So after I invert the layer with my lasso tool selected, I'm just going to remove some part of the selection so that I can sample from that particular place and use it to fill that place which I want to fill, just like that. Alright, so once I do it like this, I'm going to come to my edit and just click on content aware fill right here, and I'm just going to sample only from those particular place which I want to use. And with this tool selected, I'm going to remove it from the subject because I don't want it to sample from the subject. So those parts that are green are the parts that is going to sample from to fill that particular place. That's why I'm taking it out from the subject. So I don't want it to sample from the subject at all. I just want it to sample from the background and just use it to fill that particular place. Okay, so you can see it has filled up that particular place. So I'm going to click on apply and click on OK, and just click on Ctrl D to deselect. So this is the before and this is the after, the before and the after. So what I'm going to do right now, with this layer selected, I'm going to hold Shift and click on this layer right here and just merge them by right clicking. Just click on merge layers because I don't want the layers to be too much. So this is our before and after, our before and after. So right now it's time to make this image pop. So I'm going to create a stamp visible layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alternate E and just come to my filter and come to camera filter. So once my camera filter, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to my calibration tool right here and just increase the blue palm array just to make the dress, the greens and everything just pop. So you can see the before and the after, the before and the after. You can see the image is looking good, but it's affecting the skin tone. The skin tone is kind of yellowish and I don't want that. So I'll just come to my color mixer and just come to the saturation of the oranges and just take the saturation of the oranges down a little bit. And I'll come to my hue. So I'll come to the hue of the yellow and just move it towards the orange side a little bit like this. Okay, now this is the before and this is the after. It's looking so much better right now. But you can see it's affecting this green on the trousers, which I don't really like, the before and the after. But we're going to fix that. Now, next I'm going to do, I'm going to come to my preset right here and just click on adaptive subject right here. Once I click on adaptive subject, I'm just going to click on pop, this pop right here. Once I click on pop, and once that is just going to make the image pop, as you can see. So the before and the after, the before and the after. And with this slider right here, you can choose to increase the amount like this or decrease the amount the way you want it. So I'm going to decrease this amount a little bit like this. So these are before and this after. You can see the image is popping right now, and I'm just going to click on OK. And from here, I'm just going to reduce the opacity and add the layer mask because I don't want it to affect these trousers right here. So I'm going to add the layer mask and just pick my normal brush tool. Make sure your foreground is set to black because the layer mask is set to white, and just increase your brush size and just remove the effects from the trousers because I don't want it to be on the trousers right there. Okay, now see the before and the after. the before and the after. Alright, now next time I'm going to do, I'm going to create another stamp visible layer by pressing on Ctrl Shift Alternate E. And this time I'll go back to my filter. I'll go back to my camera filter. I want to use my mask just to make the image look more dimensional. So I'll come to my mask tool right here. I'm just going to pick on this linear gradient and just drag a gradient from this particular place like this. And from here, I'm just going to reduce the exposure just like that to add depth to the image. These are before, and these are after. Before and after. And I'm going to click on OK. Alright, now to make the image pop even more, I'm going to come to my adjustment layer. I'm going to click on my curves adjustment layer. And under this preset default, I'm going to click on it and click on lighter RGB. And this time I want to apply this effect only on the bright part of the image. And I'm going to be using a tool called blending option. So I'm going to right click on this empty place right here and just click on blending option. And with this blending option, I'm just going to take away the effect from the dark part. So under my underline layer, I'm going to move this slider right here and just remove it from the dark part. As you can see, it's going away from the dark part, and I just want to apply it only on the bright part of the image. Right? So if I just click on OK, you can see it's no longer on the dark part, it's just only on the bright part. But the transition is looking rough. So to smooth that transition, I'm just going to right click again, click on blending option. And this time I'm going to hold alternate and just split this dark slider right here. So once I press and hold alternate and click, it's going to split this slider right here. So I'm going to click on this right slider and just take it towards the highlight side like this. I'm just going to make the transition smooth like that. Alright, so let's see. These are before and these are after. You can see it has added shine to those highlights on the nose. So the before and the after, the before and the after. And what you can also do, you can just come back to your adjustment layer again, click on curves adjustment layer. This time from presets, just change it to darker RGB, and this time remove it from the bright part and just apply it only on the dark part. So I'm going to right click, just click on blending option, and under my underline layer, I'm just going to take it away from the bright part as you can see, and just split it and just take it toward the dark part like this, and click on OK. So the before and the after. This time I'm just going to reduce the opacity a little bit like this, and I can just group this both layer by pressing Ctrl G and just group both layer like that. So let me just show you the overall before and after. So these are before and these are after. Click on this to right here to learn how you can use Retouch for me to retouch your image in just one click. I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay creative.